Okay, who's ready for another silly song? I'm ready for another silly song. This was Mrs. Bowden's favorite when she was a little girl, and I hope you like it too. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. Then my poor meatball rolled under the door. It went into the garden and under a bush. And then my poor meatball became mush. The mush was so tasty, as tasty could be. And early next summer grew into a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew great big meatballs with tomato sauce. So if you like spaghetti all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatball and try not to sneeze. Is that silly or what? All right, so here we go. From the beginning, I'm going to help you with the words. So, on top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled under the door. And then my poor meatball rolled under the door. It went into the garden and under a bush. It went into the garden and under a bush. And then my poor meatball tasted like mush. And then my poor meatball tasted like mush. But the mush was so tasty. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. It turned into mush. Then my poor meatball turned into mush. The mush was so tasty, as tasty could be. The mush was so tasty, as tasty could be. That early next summer, it grew into a tree. That early next summer, it grew into a tree. Yeah. Let's see. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. Yeah. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. So if you like spaghetti all covered with cheese, all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatball and try not to sneeze. Hold on to your meatball and try not to sneeze. All right, we're going to try the whole thing. So think about spaghetti covered with your favorite cheese, Parmesan or mozzarella, whatever you really like. If you don't like cheese, well, you don't have to like it to sing the song, right? Okay, so here we go. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled onto the floor. It went into the garden. It went into the garden and under a bush. it turned into mush. The mush was so tasty, as tasty could be, that early next summer, it grew into a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. So if you like spaghetti, all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatball and try not to sneeze. Achoo!